Hey guys, Dave Toku here, and today Toei just released a new trailer for the upcoming Heisei Generations Forever movie. So let's get started. So what I'm doing today is just giving you my opinions on different cutscenes and scenes in the movie in general, and a brief overview of what I think about it and my opinion. So I won't be using the general clips, just the entire trailer will be playing in the background, because I would prefer this rather than the clips, because there's a lot more clips in this one and a lot more action happening, so I would rather you guys just watch the movie and I'll be doing everything in order, so nothing will really be out of place. Actually, so let's get started. So this first initial scene, we can actually get to see most, if not all, the Heisei riders together, and what looks like to be after a full-on all Heisei rider kick to something, which is really cool. And this is actually supported by Forze, who's using the rocket drill kick, which is super cool, and it really looks awesome. So this next shot here, we can actually get to see a bunch of the Heisei riders riding together, that being Fives, Agito, Blade, Kiva, and Decade. It's a really cool scene. And after that, we can actually get to see Kiva, what looks like to be that he's fighting a bunch of different commander mooks in the Heisei area, which is really cool. We can actually get to see as well Exceed and Forza fighting off against some other rider mooks, like then Invis and what looks like to be, I think these are the mooks from Forze, I'm not sure. And after that, we can actually get to see W posing on what looks like to be a rock. And we can actually get to see a bunch of the Heisei riders riding together, which is a really cool scene. And it's with Blade, Agito, Gaim, Ghost, O's, W, and what looks like to be Fives as well. This next one, we can actually get to see Zio and Gaze fighting off against other rider mooks as well. And we can actually also get to see Drive rider kicking the mooks as well. And this next one is really cool with Kabuto like stopping in front of what looks like to be an explosion, which is so cool, and I'm really excited for this movie already because of so much hype from this trailer. This next one, you can also get to see Zio fighting off against some other rider mooks as well, which is really cool. And we can actually get to see Build running towards what looks like to be a battle, which this entire kind of trailer is getting me excited to watch that movie. So after this is kind of fourth wall break because of what it implies, because we can actually get to see a kid, what looks like to be, and he is watching something, and it's Tokusatsu, and it's Kamar Geno, which is kind of awesome, and it's fourth wall break. And I kind of like how they kind of be creative about this, because that they went with real life rather than in the Toku universe, because of how Zio is made into the Heisei generations, kind of the Heisei era kind of timeline. We can actually get to see Sento picking up a build figure, like the base build figure, and around it we can get to see Agito in his blue form and Putotira. So when Sento picks it up, the camera shows us both Sento and an entire room filled with Commodore figures and merchandise. And like, we can also get to see the X8 game driver and Ziku driver, which is kind of cool, and you also get to see some posters in the background. And it's kind of really fourth wall breaky. So we also see Sogo driving by what looks like to be posters, and the three posters are kind of meta. And it's the Zio like poster that they released prior to Zio, which is so cool. And this is just so meta of a movie. And this next one here, we can get to see Zio himself being erased from time, like how when another rider is created, the original one disappears from the timeline. And that looks like that's what's happening to Zio in the scene after he saves this boy, which is kind of odd to see this happen to Zio. This next scene is kind of also cool because we can actually get to see a bunch of rider figures and a bunch of Commodore Roxy in the background. And it's kind of cool that we also get to see those again. And we also get to see a toy Den liner, which is kind of awesome. And this next shot, we can actually get to see the villain of the Heisei Generations Forever movie. And we can actually get to see what looks like to be prior to Zio saving this boy. And he's being attacked by an Envis, Roymute, and another kind of rider mook. Sorry. This next scene, we can actually get to see the first ever appearance of Monster W, which is kind of awesome. And I think seeing it in the movie itself is kind of awesome. And I like how it's a lot stark contrast with W, like Cyclone's bit kind of more plot, and Joker being more armored. And it's kind of like a cool contrast between both sides, and I think that's a really good representation of W. This next one, we can actually get to see a bunch of people getting attacked by different rider mooks, which is kind of awesome and kind of awful at the same time. And I think out of any Monster Rider, I think this is one of my favorite ones because of the horns in the helmet, which is so awesome. So you also get to see Build himself disappear, and not the kind that he loses powers. It's more like he loses his own body, and he disappears from this world, which is kind of awful and kind of symbolic at times because this is kind of adding more stakes to the Heisei Generations Forever movie, which is kind of neat that they're trying to hype up this movie a bit. So this next one is kind of off-putting to me because we can actually get to see both three, I guess, of both Zio, Gaze, and Build on the ground, and they all are covered in dust. And we can actually get to see as well W at the background. They're on top of like some kind of W, and I don't remember what. I'm thinking this is kind of a notebook. And I'm kind of hoping we get to see Shotaro and Philip again because they're the only riders that we didn't get to see in any Heisei Generations movies so far, which is kind of getting me excited for the movie. So this next one is kind of cool with a bunch of kids. They're cheering the riders on, and they're holding their different figures. And the kid up front, he's wearing a Deno belt, which is kind of cool. And the next one after that, we can actually get to see Kuga standing in front of the camera, and it just fades. We can see a bunch of shots from the opening shots of each of the Kamen Rider openings, which is kind of awesome. And it goes from Zio to W, which is kind of awesome. Not Zio to W, Zio to Kuga. And you can tell because a lot of these shots are from the opening shots. You can actually get to see a bunch of kids cheering on both Sento and Sogo in the scene. And you can hear their voices in the background, which is kind of symbolic. And it's raining in that scene, adding to the drama of this trailer. And we can actually get to see both of them fighting off against different rider mooks in the real world. And the rain's still pouring. And that just adds to the drama for me. We can actually get to see the main villain of the series, of the movie I should say. And he's standing upon a tomb, and it looks like that there's a body inside. And on top of the tomb's like symbol, it actually has the Kuga symbol, which is kind of cool that it still has some kind of connection to Kuga in this movie, to the first Heisei Generations, like the first Heisei rider. And we can actually get to see a bunch of people running away from a swarm of rider mooks. And walking towards rider mooks is Commoner Den-O, walking through the crowd to face these monsters on his own, which is kind of like a very epic scene for me. And he's facing them head on. So after that, it just goes black, and we can actually get to see a bunch of motorcycles revving up in the background. And after that, we can actually get to see a bunch of the Heisei riders yelling the words Henshin in the background. And then it just shows the title screen and the title of the entire movie. And there's just a 20 above. I like that both the 20 and the Forever are both gold. And I think this is a really hype movie for me because of how everything is staged in this trailer. And I can't wait to watch it during December. And it's just a month away.